be tipped off. Just to understand,
Yes.
and then Commissioner Baloyi asked you who your commanding officers were, and you indicated it was Unit Commander Colonel Bok. Now, do you have any experience of your commanding officers compromising investigations?
No, not my commanding office. When I report to my commanding office, he needs to report to provincial office higher up. And where is reporting higher up is where is being compromised.
Now, do you have experience of an incident where you reported to your commanding officer who then reported to a provincial office and the investigation was then compromised?
I can't recall exact case numbers, but planned operations to be done, you find that we plan on doing something and then ultimately it fails because it has been reported beforehand or it doesn't materialize because it's reported beforehand.
I mean, the first distinction
That's
is...
why my stance mostly is that we execute the operation. Once arrest has been made, it's reported then when we have been successful.
In this case, who is we? Because you leave Pretoria, it's just you and Masoma, and you've had a call from Sergeant Pakula of K9. You are going to a scene. You've been given a scene, so we know that the truck has stopped by the time you leave Pretoria. The truck has been stopped. It's in Ayrton at a specific location. That's where you are headed to. You do not summon anyone to come and assist you with the operation. Who is we? We are going to execute and then report afterwards. Who are you going to execute this with?
No. Commissioner, when we left, it was not for execution, was to check and verify. It's like it was information checking. But when we got there, it was explained that it is the same quantity as Masoma received the message. And while Warrant Officer Pakula was briefing me, what normally happens after he has briefed me, it's when everything will be dealt with, asking who have you called, who's outstanding, that could be called. The role players needed, necessary.
So if it is to go and verify and you arrive at the scene, what makes you say this is your drugs under your inquiry number 2020, if you're still going to be verifying? Because at that point,
I need to verify
you see,
if it's
sorry,
really sanitary bag.
let me explain. You leave Pretoria, you now say you didn't know that this is your inquiry number case. You were going to verify. That's why you are without people. You haven't summoned anyone to go and do an operation with you. You get there,
Yes.
You speak only to Pakula, and the next thing you say is, this is my scene. When Khan arrives, you've decided this is my scene, when in fact you haven't verified that there's drugs or these black bags. At that point, it's just black bags on the back of a van that are there, and you've been told they come from Durban. You haven't verified anything. So we are back at which point are you in a position to assert that this is your scene? If you're still going to be, you go there and arrive to verify. And I want to suggest to you that you knew exactly what it was. That's why you were able to assert yourself and say, this is my scene. It's because you've been told what's in there. Do you want to comment? Do you have any
No,
comment?
Commissioner.
Maybe let me ask you. Okay, thank you.
Witness before we step off this issue, I just want to understand, what do you understand to be the utility of reporting to your commanding officer when you go out for an operation, or as you say, a verification exercise?
Pardon, the question is?
Or go
What do you
anywhere.
understand to be the...
So they could know whereabouts of the member.
Why do you think it's important for them to know the whereabouts of a member?
No, so they could account where the member is.
Yes, and now do you see the difficulties when officers go to do operations or verification exercises without telling their commanding officers?
Yes.
And
Is there anything that prevented you from telling, I think it's Brigadier Siobe, Colonel Siobe, or whoever was your immediate superior at that time that you reported to say to them, I'm out of the office, I'm following a lead, without disclosing what it is? Why could you not do that? If you accept that the reason that someone else in your office and your superior should know where you are is so that your movements are accounted for, why could you not, and why did you not say, I'm following on a lead and I'll report to you later? Witness.
Commissioner, I believe by that status, my take was that I'll report once I know everything what has happened when I get where I've been asked to come.
Yeah, but you've told us that, so I'm asking the question, why? Why did you not say to Colonel Siobe that you informed? She was the acting unit commander, I think you say. You told her, I'm going to Johannesburg High Court. So you know that when you have disappeared, she knows you to be in the Johannesburg High Court. I'm asking you, why did you not say to her, I'm now following on a lead and I will come back to report to you once I know what's going on?
I should have done that, Commissioner.
Thank you.
and then, witness, in your exchange with Commissioner Baloyi, you said that you needed to verify because you then confirmed the quantity of the drugs once you were there. But this is different from what you said in your statement. There you said that you knew the quantity before, and it is this quantity that led you to believe that it's the same inquiry. So it's either you didn't know, and so there's no reason why you would have believed that it's part of the inquiry, or you did know, and then you were just trying to conceal the fact that you wanted to go there and take over the investigation. It's one of the two, it can't be both.
No, I was informed of the quantity and I needed to confirm on when I get there that what I was told is right, it's as it is.
Witness, it's fine. I hear your answer. Then I want us to...
Can I just ask, you got there and you found DPCI members from Germiston and Johannesburg. Why did you not talk to them? It's their jurisdiction. Johannesburg, Egerton is in Johannesburg. Why did you not go and speak to them? You're still verifying. You arrive on the scene, you don't know yet that these are your drugs that belong to your inquiry number. Why do you not speak to members of the DPCI?
Commissioner, the people who called me to the scene, I had to get a briefing first, and after then I'll relate with my other colleagues of Johannesburg and Germiston. I needed to get a briefing first of what is really happening. After then, I relate or communicate with my fellow colleagues of Germiston and Joburg.
But you were not called by Pakula, by Warrant Officer Pakula, and that's who you go and speak to. You do say in your statement that when you arrived, you found DPCI Johannesburg and
Yes.
and Germiston. So you knew when you saw them when you arrived that your colleagues are there. You then go to Pakula, who's not the person that called you to the scene, Warrant Officer Pakula. I'm sorry, it doesn't make sense that you would do that unless you were quite deliberate and calculated in your decision of who to speak to. You left Pretoria, and I want to suggest this to you for comment. You left Pretoria knowing with information of what the bust is about. You made a decision not to inform the acting unit commander that you are going to Ayrton, because at that time you do have the specifics of where this operation is unfolding. You know that they are at a particular location. And so even your concern about where it will go out to others and there will be problems doesn't quite hold, because at this point you've been told that the truck is parked at this particular location. You don't tell your superior who's in the office, because you actually are hiding from her for wrong reasons, not for the reasons you give us. For the wrong reasons, you're hiding from her where in fact you are going. And you do so knowing that she's under the impression that you've gone somewhere else, to the High Court, because that's what you told her. You arrive at the scene, you find DPCI who have control, jurisdictional control over the scene. You don't speak to them. You instead go to speak to someone who's not anywhere close to why you are here, Pakula. You allow a K9 member to take you to Pakula, and then you get, immediately after you're talking to Pakula, you haven't verified anything. You say, this is my scene. You're taking charge. I want to suggest to you that all of that conduct up to this point is calculated conduct, because you came knowing that you are coming here to an operation that you are coming to legitimize, as Ms. Bowe says, to legitimize an operation that is unaccounted for on the books. It's nowhere on the books, this operation, at that point when you arrive. Do you want to comment?
No comment, Commissioner.
Thank you.
I want to suggest to you, Witness I, that the reason for you going to the Ayrton scene, precisely what Commissioner Baloyi says, there was an unlawful operation by Makhano and Pakula and Mashaba, and they were interrupted by subs who were dispatched there by 10-111. And your presence there and your use of this 2020 inquiry number was to legitimize what was otherwise an unlawful operation to steal the drugs. You going there and presenting this number and saying you were called was a cover, so that they can say, no, this is a lawful police operation. Even Saneb is here, it has been called. But you were called after the boys and subs, or the subs who were dispatched by 10-111, had interrupted what Makhano and Mashaba were doing. And you knew going there that the purpose of you going there was to go legitimize an unlawful operation. And that's why you did not tell your superiors. I know I said a mouthful, but do you understand what I said?
Yeah, I hear, Commissioner, because that's what was also explained to me by General Kheba, which I was not aware.
Because it doesn't explain your conduct. Even if you were aware, it doesn't explain why you would mislead your superiors. As Commissioner Baloyi said, You could have said to them, I'm following up on an inquiry that we have already opened. I can't give you the details yet. I will give you the details when I come back. They would not have leaked that information because it is meaningless, but at least they know what you are doing and what you are attending to. But saying to them that you are going to the High Court on a personal matter when you knew that that was not true, even if the call came after you had told your superior, nothing stopped you before leaving to say to them, I'm no longer going to the High Court. I'm now following up on something we are busy with that is related to our inquiries. Do you follow that?
Yeah, I follow, Commissioner.
Thank you. And you can comment if you want, or if it's clear to you. I'm going to leave it at that.
Witness, on this topic of who you decided to talk to, I just want us to dig a little deeper. Now, Commissioner Baloyi asked you about DPCI. Now, we know from testimony that there were multiple other